part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
It's official. The feds have secured all the footage from Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, and he has finally been arrested. If you thought the Diddy saga was coming to an end, think again. Things are just getting started.
On scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful as they made entry into this home this afternoon. We actually watched them as they made their way through one of these side gates, and as soon as they got inside the home, one of the first things they did was made their way into this garage that you see is open right there. I can't answer, but I can tell you there's 3 people right there that were taken into custody, were inside that home at the time of the raid.
We did see a bunch of investigators going in, making the raid in there, and clearing that as well. They're going to do a thorough search as they conduct this raid, and so far, Stu, from what I understand and from Haley on the ground there, they have not seen, and we have not seen from our vantage point, any sign of Sean Combs, the 54-year-old who is believed to be the property owner of.
What's crazy about Diddy's arrest is that it was the leaked footage that finally took him down, featuring a scene with bottles of baby oil and all kinds of debauchery. Naturally, the feds wasted no time swooping in.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity. It contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition, and parts of 2 AR-15s right there.
And it doesn't stop there. Weapons were also involved, making this not just a case of violence, but a potential national security issue. Does the term sex trafficking ring a bell for anyone?
Well, tonight, they arrested P. Diddy. News just broke that they took him into custody in New York City, so I figured now is as good a time as any to shit all over Sean again and remind everyone just how horrible this man is. This producer he worked with, named Lil Rod, brought this lawsuit against him. Rodney Jones v. Sean Combs, alleging RICO allegation, which is like organized crime. And he alleged that a member of this RICO organization was none other than the CEO of Universal Music Group, Lucien Grange. While living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his homes. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs had recordings of defendants Lucien Charles Grange, as well as other celebrities, music label executives, politicians, and athletes. These individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent, and as in the case with the homosexual sex tape of Stevie J that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties. Upon information and belief, due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and is untouchable. Well, the diddler just got touched. So Diddy was big on recording all kinds of things, and he frequently took this guy's phone from him and recorded things at parties. So this dude wound up with hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity, including the acquisition, use, distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. Combs providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes in California, New York, the Virgin Islands, and Florida. Diddy's brother Christian drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, which is horrendous, and I'm not going to read from it. It's absolutely disgusting. Yes, here are photos of Cuba doing the things. Here's more photos of Cuba Gooding Jr., quote, forcibly touching Mr. Jones, fondling Mr. Jones' leg, his upper inner thighs, and his groin. Jones rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away, following the screenshot. Homie witnessed a shooting where either Diddy or his brother shot a dude in the bathroom and then got the cops to just totally not prosecute, not investigate, say it was a drive-by, they drove away. Diddy's scheme was all about was getting rappers to do gay stuff on camera, though they did not know it, so that he had blackmail on them, so that he could kind of control them, and thereby control the whole music industry that he had kind of helped create. According to Diddy, this is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it. Diddy informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper Redacted, R&B singer Redacted, and Stevie J. Diddy's having gay orgies and using it to try to get homie to have more gay orgies, because that's what he's all about. Mr. Combs promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he did gay stuff. Diddy's assistant, defendant Coram, required all employees from the butler, the chef, to the housekeepers to walk around with a pouch or fanny pack filled with cocaine, GHB, ecstasy, marijuana, gummies, Tucci, mixture of ecstasy and cocaine, at all times. Diddy maintained this RICO enterprise by using threats of violence, threatening to eat his face, displaying and distributing guns in plaintiff's presence, bragging about having law enforcement under control, bragging about murdering people, and bragging about bribing witnesses and jurors in the criminal case concerning the 1999 New York City nightclub shooting with Shine. And it would appear that one of the ways that Diddy had law enforcement under control was through his chief of security, Fahim Muhammad, who the whole staff was allegedly told to contact if anything ever went wrong with police or law enforcement, and he would be the fixer that would make it all disappear. Fahim Muhammad is the former head of security for Michael Jackson. This kid had just graduated college with like a business degree, and he became the head of security for the King of Pop at age 21 or 22. This guy was second on the scene, and then his very next job after failing was to become the head of Diddy's entire operation, the head of security in a blackmail ring. Needs to know all the dirt. Diddy formed his record label in the first place with a lot of help, basically being selected by Clive Davis, who's got a lot of mob ties and other stuff in his history, but he's been running huge portions of the music industry before we were all born. I say all of that to just show you the scope, that this is not just one rapper doing bad things. This is the whole music industry. Diddy is not an isolated incident. He is the status quo. And chances are he was not the only blackmail ring operating in the music industry.
If anyone needs a refresher on what went down, here's a quick recap. And yes, that's a 72-page list of allegations.
I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
My personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statement are true, they got him. They got tapes and stuff.
Now, if Diddy had tapes, the feds have them. That's a lot of blackmail. I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say I'm so green.
Of course, it doesn't end there. This man has allegedly committed nearly every crime imaginable. As a legal citizen of the United States, you have to wonder, just how deep does this go? Honestly, the sheer number of human rights violations in this case could be enough for the UN to draft a new resolution.
There he is.
Let's do it.
Before we begin, how do I address you?
You can call me Love.
And you've referred to yourself differently over the years, so I gotta ask you, Puff, where did that come from?
I can't tell you that.
What's one misconception about you?
There are no misconceptions about me.
What's one thing you need every morning?
I need a hug. I think it's all about love.
By the way, whatever happened to that Farnsworth Bentley guy?
Oh, Farnsworth is doing great.
Who's the one artist, living or dead, that you wish you could collaborate with?
Michael Jackson.
Why?
Both Gene Deal and Cat Williams tried to warn us, just like they always said. The rap community has known the truth all along and has been dropping hints for years. Now, even CNN has the proof.
We'll be back to the table in just a moment, but first, some breaking news tonight. Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. The charges are unclear as of this moment. Joining us now is CNN's entertainment reporter Elizabeth Wagmeister, and also with us CNN chief legal correspondent Ellie Honig. Elizabeth, you were a big part of revealing some details about Diddy's conduct in private over the course of the last couple of months. What do we know at this point about what this case might ultimately be about?
Abby, at the moment, we don't know what the charges are. I have information that he was arrested tonight at a Manhattan hotel. He is currently being processed. Diddy relocated to New York last week, and here's a statement that I have from his attorney. He says, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office." He goes on to say that he is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. A few months ago, when our team broke this disturbing video of Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as the singer, her stage name, Cassie. When we broke this video, Diddy had denied the allegations against him. Cassie is one of 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. A former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands from making the band, Diddy's show that was on MTV, she sued him for sexual assault and other disturbing allegations, and he denied that. So he continues the denials, and he still maintains his innocence, even though he has been arrested tonight.
Diddy is here in New York, in Manhattan. He apparently came here in anticipation that something like this might happen. What should we understand about what that might mean? A federal arrest being processed here in New York.
So, Abby, there are some important things we do not know, including the specific charge that has been lodged against Sean Combs. But there are some really important things we do know. First of all, based on the attorney's statement, based on our reporting, this is a federal prosecution. It's not a state prosecution. The other thing that we do know is a grand jury has indicted Sean Combs, meaning they found probable cause that he committed at least one federal crime. There will be, likely tomorrow or within the next couple of days, but usually in the SDNY you try to do it the next day, there will be an arraignment, meaning Sean Combs will appear in court with his lawyers. There are no cameras, no prosecutors ask the judge to lock him up pending trial. That could end up in a contentious argument. So these are things that are going to play out over the next 24 or 48 hours. And finally, Abby, with respect to the charges,
Let's be real, we all saw this coming. If you've ever come across the bizarre Diddy footage circulating online, it's clear the man gives off some seriously freaky vibes.
Orchestrated acts with workers known as freak-offs. On Tuesday, September 17th, Combs, 54, is charged with trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution, according to the indictment. Combs was arrested at a Manhattan hotel on Monday. Combs' attorney said he would fight, quote-unquote, like hell to get the rapper released, and said that Combs was going to plead not guilty, obviously. Okay, bro. Combs would also allegedly supply to the victims in order to ensure compliance. Prosecutors also say that after raiding P. Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles in March, authorities found freak-off supplies, which include and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. But apparently, they had enough evidence to conduct this raid on his home and his properties. Here we have a timeline courtesy of Fox News via Drama Alert on Twitter of the allegations stemming from all the way from 2023 of November 16th. 2023 was not a good year for Diddy, and in March 25th, 2024, the federal agents raided his mansion in LA and Miami for trafficking allegations, and that's when they discovered those 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants and AK-47s and whatnot. May 17th, 2024, video is released of Diddy assaulting Casey Ventura. So yes, these are terrible things, but we need to pray for these people that they may have a change of heart and they turn from their wickedness and trust in Jesus.
It's not time to celebrate just yet. The real courtroom showdown is just around the corner, and it's going to be intense. Stay tuned, hit that like button, and subscribe for your go-to source on all the latest Diddy updates. Catch you next time.